Hi, I'm Moby, and you're watching the Moby channel right here on LP 33. Well, I mean, I live alone and I work alone. There are two things that motivate me. One, the desire to do what I love, and the other, to avoid what makes me profoundly uncomfortable. But also, if I don't work, if I don't make music, it's very hard for me to justify my existence to myself. The thought of just sitting around being a slacker doing nothing, I would feel badly about myself. So I work because I love to work, but I also work because if I don't work, I feel like a slug. Up until recently, I thought I had this sort of like Calvinist Protestant work ethic where every day I had to be as productive as possible. I'm realizing that it is okay to maybe occasionally take a day off. Non-work related goals are pretty simple and probably shared between me and every other person on the planet. You know, the goal of having better friendships and better intimate relationships, knowing myself better, and having a decent spiritual life and being fairly healthy, figuring out how to have a degree of equanimity and contentedness. I know I'm 44 years old, and I've learned, I think I've learned a few things. One of the things I've learned is those things that we're most ashamed of are the things we have in common with everybody else. You know, our deepest insecurities, our deepest fears, the things that we're, you know, most afraid of, most ashamed of, everybody feels the same way. And what you realize as you get older is like, nobody knows what they're doing. The only people who seem to know what they're doing are dumb people and sociopaths. We're born, we struggle, we die. And you can either despair about that or try and make the best of it. I've also learned that nothing is as serious as it seems. Nothing is ever as bad as it seems. Nothing is ever as good as it seems. Human beings have a propensity to go towards the dramatic. Like with our president, Barack Obama, some people see him as the devil and some people see him as a savior. The truth is, he's a smart, progressive guy who's running the country. You know, neither devil, neither savior. If something seems like a disaster, it's not a disaster. And if something seems like the greatest thing ever, it's not the greatest thing ever. The middle road is, I think a lot of people think is really boring. You know, and so people lurch from like, oh, this new relationship is going to save my life, or that relationship is destroying my life, as opposed to the middle road of the relationship is what it is. Years ago, taking a psychology class, and the things that fill our lives were described as being either like primary, secondary, or tertiary. And primary is air and water and food, and then secondary would be community, medicine, etc. And then the tertiary ones are love, spirituality, creativity. So I mean, I could be very reductionist and just say like the three most important things in life: breathing, clean air, and not being eaten by bears. But dealing on the more like the tertiary level, having other people in your life is incredibly important. Because if you notice, most serial killers, most crazy people tend to spend a little too much time alone. You know, like Ted Kaczynski, the Unabomber, didn't seem like he had a real close-knit circle of friends around him. When the tour is done, I wish I had a better answer, but I just want to make more music.